What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlamia here, back with another video. Now we're just days away from 2019 Survivor Series pay-per-view, and as always, there's plenty of wrestling news going around. Join us now as we look at WWE's Backstage ratings, WWE possibly suing AEW, a huge surprise set for Survivor Series, takeaways from Triple H's NXT TakeOver conference call, the latest on the Jim Cornette controversy, Alicia Fox's battle with the bottle, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more videos like this. But let's waste no further time and get straight into the first story, as to whether CM Punk saved WWE's Backstage ratings. As many predicted, CM Punk's appearance on the 19th November WWE Backstage episode seems to have jump-started the show's ratings. As noted by PW Insider, the episode of WWE Backstage on FS1 featuring a CM Punk interview brought in 180,000 viewers, up from last week's 100,000. While these numbers have improved, Pro Sports Extra's Brad Shepard put things into perspective. Calm down, it's not a rumour. He mentioned this week's WWE Backstage with an advertised CM Punk had 180,000 viewers, which is an 80,000 increase from last week. WWE Backstage was not even one of the 50 most watched shows on Tuesday. This aligns with what I expected. Still, last week's show didn't crack the top 150 shows, so this is an improvement. Still, he argued, this week's episode of WWE Backstage also registered 0.10 in the key 18 to 49 adult demographic, which is below average. That number did increase from 0.04 last week. Well, the real takeaway is that WWE Backstage has improved, but there's no telling how it will do during the weeks when CM Punk is absent, as he did mention before that he's only making sporadic appearances. If FS1 was wise, it would consider putting Punk on the show every week, but then again overexposure could lead to the fans turning on him, as always happens in wrestling. For now, it may see if it can coast off the weeks Punk is on. Next up, a few highlights from the NXT TakeOver conference call, as on 20th November, Triple H held a usual conference call for NXT TakeOver events, fielding questions from reporters. Hunter discussed a number of topics including superstars griping on social media about the WWE. The game discussed how disgruntled superstars sometimes take to social media to voice their complaints about the WWE. Hunter stressed that when he has a problem with talent, he doesn't go to social media, he goes to the talent. He suggested some wrestlers are merely looking for publicity and or trying to push people's buttons. He then said the best way to communicate is to call someone, not go online. To sum things up, Helmsley pointed out that ain't the place to do it. We all have phones, you can handle your business like a professional. Number 2, the future for the NXT invasion. While we've suggested that WWE might want to continue the NXT invasion angle, Triple H seems to think it will end after Survivor Series, stating his goal for the NXT to be his own brand and stand on its own. He also explained the brand split should become clearer after Survivor Series, and that Survivor Series will be the venue for the 3 brands to compete against each other. Number 3, planning NXT TakeOver War Games and Survivor Series. Helmsley was asked what difficulties NXT's creative team dealt with trying to plan both NXT TakeOver War Games and Survivor Series. He praised the work of Shawn Michaels and the Road Dogg, arguing he'd match their talents against Paul Heyman or Bruce Pritchard. Number 4, a big surprise for Survivor Series. Survivor Series will feature a big surprise according to Triple H, let's hope it's not the gobbledygooker, but during the NXT TakeOver conference call, Helmsley said that the 5th member of Team NXT won't be revealed until Survivor Series, leading to speculation as to whom it will be. As we've discussed in our Survivor Series Rumors and Predictions video, don't be shocked to see a Raw or SmackDown defector on Team NXT. If so, the surprise could definitely live up to the hype. Next up, a bit more news on Jim Cornette. Now, Jim Cornette is no longer working with the National Wrestling Alliance, having resigned recently after his comments on NWA Power led to a number of complaints. The story has already spread outside the wrestling media, with TMZ and Variety running stories on it. A recent article at Variety.com, which covers breaking entertainment news, mentioned the story including the following. Cornette had been working as a color commentator on the NWA's recently launched weekly YouTube wrestling show NWA Power, but during the November 19th episode, he said, "Trevor Murdoch is the only man I've ever known that can strap a bucket of fried chicken on his back and ride a motor scooter across Ethiopia. Trevor Murdoch can take care of himself." Viewers quickly condemned the statement as racist, with the NWA briefly pulling the episode off YouTube to edit it out. Cornette posted the following message on Twitter on 20th November. "Morning everybody, heard any good jokes lately? This coming Friday's Jim Cornette Experience, wherever you find your favorite podcasts, is liable to be a good one if you like hearing stupid people told what they can do with their stupidity." It is worth noting that Jim Cornette actually said this same line about 30 years ago during a promo with the Midnight Express. Obviously, this being 30 years ago, many had no issue with the line, but obviously times have changed. And whether people like it or not, we do live in a more PC world. People are going to have issues with this kind of line. Cornette should have expected it, whether you think it's racist or offensive or just plain funny. But how will this fare on Cornette? Well, a user on Twitter asked Renee Young and Paige to interview Cornette on Backstage, and Paige quickly replied, "Nah, we're good." And Young added, "Hard no over here, bud." Well, I guess that explains that. In all fairness, having Cornette on the show would bring ratings up even further. Maybe it's not such a bad idea. Next up, Alicia Fox reveals her battle against alcoholism. WWE superstar Alicia Fox's battles with alcohol are well known, but thankfully, there's good news to report on her battles with personal demons. Fox sent a message to her fans via Instagram, informing them, "For a while, I thought I could avoid addressing my recovery of alcohol. I am human, and I realized it was time to be transparent and honest with you social media, now written on cyber concrete. Today I'm a few months sober, I've creatively navigated my emotions, snagged some new skills, and I want to help. I've learned that alcoholism is a life-threatening situation and support is available. I figured I can share my insight and be of service to anyone finding it hard to believe that you are important and deserve an opportunity to learn how to live a clean and sober life. It would be an honor to share my hope, strength, and experience." She left her contact details and further mentioned, "I'm inviting everyone to a safe social place to discuss and expand understanding of our transforming minds. Thanks for allowing me to get that off my chest." We for one wish Fox a fast recovery and applaud her efforts to help others by revealing her own battle with personal demons. A great way of turning a negative into a positive. Next up, is AEW looking to boost Dynamite ticket sales? AEW Dynamite will be airing a show the night before Thanksgiving in Chicago, an area that has had several shows of late, including Survivor Series in nearby Rosemont. AEW announcing on 20th November that Puck will face Kenny Omega once again, leading to some pundits speculating this has been done to boost ticket sales. Whether or not it succeeds, it does raise the question why AEW is repeating the same match when one of its selling points is that it wouldn't run the same matches ad nauseum like the WWE. Next up, Dio Maddin's whereabouts. Wondering where Raw announcer Dio Maddin is? When last seen, the former NXT superstar turned announcer was selling a beatdown at the hands of Brock Lesnar after heroic Maddin defended Jerry the King Lawler from Lesnar's wrath. As we mentioned a while back, Maddin was removed from TV to sell the attack, and according to PW Insider, that's still the case. For those who've asked, Dio Maddin is still, as of today, officially part of the Raw broadcast team. He is currently off television selling the Brock Lesnar attack. Next up, updates on Johnny Gargano, Sheamus, and Alexa Bliss. There are a number of WWE superstars dealing with injuries ranging from nagging to serious. As mentioned in our previous news videos, Ember Moon is out indefinitely with a tendon injury. Alexa Bliss is believed to have a long road to recovery ahead of her, with sources reporting that she will be evaluated this weekend in Chicago. Hopefully Bliss will have a clear idea of just how long it will be before she can return to the ring. Unfortunately for Johnny Gargano, his return is still uncertain. During the NXT TakeOver conference call, Triple H announced that the NXT superstar is day-to-day, but sources have reported there is currently no return date. On a better note, WWE superstar Sheamus seems ready to rumble, and will hopefully be back soon. Next up, a New Day podcast announced. The talk of a New Day podcast has turned into reality, with Corey Graves announcing on his podcast After the Bell that a New Day Feel the Power will debut on Monday 2nd December. The weekly show will be hosted by all three members of the New Day, and a trailer has also been released. And lastly, WWE suing AEW over Bash at the Beach. Wrestling fans were taken aback when they learned AEW is hosting a special episode of Dynamite titled Bash at the Beach, the name of a former WCW pay-per-view. Despite WWE buying WCW back in 2001, the name was apparently up for grabs. AEW President Tony Khan recently spoke with Wrestling Inc., explaining how AEW got the rights to the Bash at the Beach name. Cody went on a trademark binge one night and he texted me, "Conrad and I were up all night trademarking stuff. One of the things that came out of it was Bash at the Beach. So when he said that, we thought of a way to use it, and the unique idea was to go to Miami in January. We'll be doing a 2-part Bash at the Beach on Dynamite. That special will also include the matches from Chris Jericho's cruise that week." Khan pointed out that Major League Wrestling acquired the rights to the trademark for War Games, later selling it to the WWE. However, the WWE doesn't seem happy about AEW's move. According to Ringside News, they may be taking action to stop the use of the title. Cody Rhodes sent out a very interesting tweet on Wednesday afternoon that could be related to the big news AEW broke recently. They will be holding a Bash at the Beach event in Miami before the Chris Jericho cruise sets off. Those two things might be related. The American Nightmare tweeted out that it sounds like he's going to court soon. He accompanied this caption with an animated GIF saying, "Welcome to Pateyville." It will be interesting to see if WWE can stop them, as Cody has mentioned that the name was up for grabs, and WWE have done nothing with the name ever since they acquired the rights to WCW. But there you have it guys, all the hottest wrestling news and rumors you need to know. What do you guys think of these stories? Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.